Hello everyone, I'm Abhilasha Khare and I'm here to talk about the basic elements to constitute a crime. When we talk about the definition of crime, as Austin has defined, crime is an act or omission which is punishable by law. When we talk about the Indian Penal Code 1860, we find that Section 40 of the IPC provides the definition of an offence as something which is punishable by this code. IPC does not give the definition of crime, but it defines the offence. Crime or offence is different as compared to a private wrong. Crime is a wrong against the society at large. That is why the state takes the responsibility to punish the offenders through its agencies. But the state also has to see that it does not punish an innocent person. That is why this legal maxim of the criminal liability comes into play, which is actus non facit rem nisi mensit rea, which says that an act does not constitute a guilt until and unless it is done with a criminal intention. Now here we find two basic elements to constitute a crime, which is actus reus and secondly the mens rea. Actus reus is the physical element of any crime. Actus means an act and reus means something which is prohibited by law. So in a general parlance we can say that anything which is prohibited by law, any act which is prohibited by law is an offence or a crime. Now here we see that it does not only include act, it also talks about the omission. Okay. Here we have to see whether it is our legal duty, whether we are legally bound to do that act or omission or not. We also see the consequences of the act done while determining the criminal liability. The consequences of the act or omission is direct or not. For example, I have stabbed A and caused injury on A. Now for the treatment, A is going and he is in the ambulance. The ambulance meets with an accident and A dies. I am only liable and responsible for causing the injury by stabbing and not for the death of A. But on the other hand, if I cause an injury on the vital organ or vital part of A and consequently and resultantly A dies, then I am liable for causing death of A. The second element here comes into existence is mens rea. Mens rea is the mental element of any crime or the mental element while determining the criminal liability. It is a legal presumption that any person, whenever he is doing any illegal act or omission, knows the consequences of that particular act or omission, and somewhere or the other he is intending to cause that particular result which is going to arise from that act or omission. So whenever we see the criminal liability or whenever we determine the criminal liability of any person, mens rea is always taken into consideration. But that term mens rea you will not find in the Indian Penal Code. Terms like voluntarily, dishonestly, fraudulently, these terms you will find in the IPC, but mens rea as such you will not find in the Indian Penal Code. But there are exceptions also for mens rea. Like for example, there are statutory rules or the statutory provisions where or the statutory acts where it is specifically mentioned that mens rea should not be taken into consideration. So in those cases, mens rea is not considered while determining the criminal liability. Thank you.